dog as a pet. As most of us know, dogs are selectively bred animals. I'm sure that most of your pets that you have or you're planning on having are bought from a pet store. So 90% of the puppies in the United States in the pet store come from a puppy mill. Puppy mill is an inhumane commercial dog breeding facility where dogs are bred to maximize profits while minimizing their health care and other life activities for the puppies. I'm sure most of you love your pets and would not want to see your pets go through that difficult time. So let me tell you a little bit about what I found about puppy mills. I did some research of my own on puppy mills in the United States specifically and found my information on paws.org, prisonersofbreed.org, humanesociety.org, and the Huffington Post. Today I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't get your pets from a pet store and you should support Abolishing puppy mills. First, let me tell you why you shouldn't buy pets from pet stores. So pet store puppies are bought from puppy mills which store puppies in really poor conditions, as shown here. They're stored in cages that are fully not equipped, broken, rusted, and all the puppies are just mashed in there. They don't have adequate room to move around and things like that. The cages are very small and they're in confined areas. They also some puppies are crushed by bigger puppies. They don't assort them based on size or anything. And there's minimal shelter from weather. So as you can see, these cages are outside in the open. And there's feces in their food, in their water sources. Their cages are not clean. This is all outside. They don't have shelter or roof on them. So when it rains or snows, there's no shelter for them. When there's not enough room, because there are some sheltered areas for the puppies, they still keep the dogs outside and they don't take them inside. Also, the puppies are bred until they can't bred anymore. So once the female dog is bred, it is nearly to death, like you can see in this puppy. Then they are just left for themselves and they are not given veterinary care or anything like that, even though they have bred all these animals. And then they're destroyed or discarded. So sometimes they are killed or put down to sleep because they are of no use to the puppy mills anymore. And also these pets suffer from isolation because of the way that they're treated in the puppy mills. So when they come to your house, they have a lot of psychological issues like we do, like anger issues, frustrations, and things like that. And their development and behavioral issues also trigger, and it affects them throughout their life. So you suffer as an owner, and the pet suffers as well. So let me tell you a little bit about some of the solutions that are already in place. So Animal Welfare Act, which is taken care of through U.S. Department of Agriculture, requires licensing and inspections for most of the breeders, even internet breeders, because now you can buy pets on the internet, and even for the shelters and the puppy mills. So the thing with that is that they are not very efficient in their acting, and there's many issues with the act. So let me tell you about their violations. So this is a map of the United States and where each state has their puppy mills. So the dark red, they have licensing and inspection at some cases and some costs. But the orange states, they don't have many licensing or inspections. And the pink ones, there's no data for them. So there can be licensing, there can be inspections, but it's not sure. And the lighter pink ones, there's no inspection, no regulation. The owner can treat the pets however they want. There's no monthly checkup on them or anything like that. And that's really bad for the puppies because there's no other way they can save themselves from there. And the violations, when they do find violations, they're ignored. There's also lobbying and bribery in these industries. So they are bribed and the inspectors are bribed. And so they don't report if there are any issues at the puppy mills. And even after many violations, all the owners are still allowed to renew their license repeatedly, and they're still allowed to have it repeatedly. Even if it's repeatedly suspended, it's not taken away from them forever. So let me tell you a little bit about what you can do to stop the suffering of these pets. So you can be a responsible customer and ask questions, and you can also do that by buying from reliable sellers. So reliable sellers include, if you would check on the puppy's family, so how it was bred, what's the mom, what's the breed, their vaccination history, their medical records, and also their training, to know how they were trained. And you should also ask questions about where they were kept before you got them, and how they were raised, in what conditions, so that you know more about if they have any psychological issues or not. And I'm not saying that puppies who are kept at puppy mills are of any less love and care compared to shelter dogs, but that's a way of getting rid of puppy mills. And you can also be a reliable customer by buying pets from shelters. So 25% of the pets in the shelters are purebred. And if you can't afford on adopting a pet from the pet store, you can even donate pet supplies to pet stores and shelters. That way they can take care of the pets more. And you can also suggest local pet stores to support shelters more than puppy mills. So you can encourage, as a consumer, you can ask them to buy their pets from the shelters compared to puppy mills. That way they know what the consumer wants and they would take your considerations, and they will also stop supporting puppy mills. So this is a map of the United States and all the pet stores in the United States that do get their pets from the puppy mills. So as you can see, the eastern part of the United States is completely blocked. You can't even see. So all the pet stores in the eastern side that are red, they all get their pets from the puppy mills. So as people who live on the East Coast, we can suggest our local pet stores to not get their pets from the puppy mills. So what are some of the benefits of you getting a pet from the shelter compared to puppy mills? You are saving a life, first of all, and you benefit by receiving healthy and happy pet. You will also save on cost because most of the pets at the shelter are given pre-vaccinations and they're pre-trained, and all their medical record is clean, so everything's taken care of, so you don't have to get them and then take them to the veterinarian and get them checked. So there's less chances and less risks for diseases. That way you will have less cost in the future. And they can also serve as great companions. As we know, most of the pets, there are many of them that are service dogs and service pets. They also help people who are sick emotionally, psychologically, and physically. They also help you lessen feelings of loneliness. So a lot of people who have lost their loved ones in their life, and if they live alone, they choose pets to have them by their side. And research has shown that pets help improve levels of oxytocin in your body, which helps reduce blood pressure and relieve stress. And it also helps with another beneficial hormones. So, and you can also, by adopting a pet, you can help more pets in return, because if you adopt a pet from the shelter, there will be more room for other pets, and the shelter will be able to take care of more pets. So now that I've told you a little bit more about puppy mills, I'm sure that you will consider the harsh treatments that these pets receive and suffer from. So let me tell you a little bit more facts. So only 15% of the pets in the United States are rescue pets. Most of the other ones are either bred by commercial facilities for profits. And also consider using solutions like checking the history for the pets and their medical records and things like that, so that you know more about the pets. And then I hope that next time when you go and decide to buy a pet, you will rescue one from a from a shelter rather than buying one from a pet store. And just to leave you thinking, over 2 million puppies are bred each year. And as a record for 2014, there are 10,000 mills that exist in the United States. So this was as a record of 2014. It's been 4 years ever since. I'm sure there's more puppy mills that have opened up. So just, you have solutions in your hands, so use these solutions and get a pet or even a dog from a shelter rather than a puppy mill, and pet stores that support puppy mills. Thank you.